Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. Um, let's see what's going on here. I think, um, hello. Yeah, so we have some technical difficulties, of course. It says I have a guest. Here, there we go. All right. I think I've got it now. Let me see who's watching. Marianne's watching. Hi, Marianne. Michelle's watching. Hi, Michelle. Norma's watching. Hi, Norma. Amanda's watching. Hi, Amanda. Diane's watching. Hi, Diane. Um, let's see who else is watching. If you have a chance and you'd be so kind, we would appreciate you liking. Oh, there's more, more comments. Anne's watching. Hi, Anne. Cheryl's watching. Hi, Cheryl. Danette's watching. Hello, Danette. Shirley's watching. Hello, Shirley. Facebook user is watching. Hello, Facebook user. Susan, our neighbor, is watching. Hello. Thank you for the cat food today. She gifted us some cat food for little baby kittens. So thank you so much for that. So we've been super busy here. William was at the shop today, and I was working from home, getting things ready for tonight. Of course, it's always a mad dash and scramble to get everything ready. So hopefully it's going well where you are. We're usually not on Saturdays, but with everything going on and the launch of the New Day campaign, I thought it would be good to come on this weekend. I'm going to be leaving fairly soon to go to the artist residency at Aeromont on Tuesday evening. So it's going to be a busy couple days getting ready to leave. And so, yeah, so we're going to do some tonight and probably another live tomorrow because we've still got lots of things going on. Cindy's watching. Hello, Cindy. She's out at dinner. I've got dinner on the stove, so I'm kind of a little bit nervous, but that I don't catch the house on fire, especially with everything that's gone on recently. Dawn's watching. Hi, Dawn. Originally, I wasn't supposed to be the one that was going on, as you can tell, probably from me rolling up with a 5 o'clock shadow. Pamela's watching. Hello. Let's see. Cindy says, if you are on when we get home, I'll watch then. Oh, good. Susan's watching. Hello, Susan. Vicky's watching. Hello, Vicky. Danette says, what are you making for dinner? It's kind of scraping out the cupboard and see what we got. So I'm making, there's an Indian recipe called dal. Daal. And so I'm making a version of that tonight, but it's going to be really kind of wild, an interpretation of that. So yeah, we're busy doing that. Anyway, so we've got a lot going on this weekend. If you didn't hear the news, there's a lot of stuff happening in our lives, both personally and professionally. I'm not going to get too much into some of the negative things or the less than good things, because, it just brings it down. So instead, I'm going to focus on the positive. And one of the positive things that's happening is we decided, after a lot of thought and consideration, that we're going to move from our space in Ligonier out to our building in Johnstown. And that will help us keep the business going and maintain a physical space. Um, it would have been really easy just to close down completely. Um, I think that's always an option. Um, with the amount that a physical space usually requires, it sometimes can be dicey. It's the other day I was in the shop and not even a single person came in, and only the male person came in. So, just being open, that takes resources and overhead. So, that's not always ideal. But I think with all the changes that we're making, and we're excited about going to Johnstown, it's something that I think has been in the works, whether we were cognitive of it or not, it was still happening. So we're super excited about that. And so part of that is we've got about 2 months or a month and a half that we're going to be closing out the physical store here in Ligonier, and moving and prepping the building in Johnstown. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to be kind of expensive. You don't really think about that, but things like paint and bolts and screws and things like that always add up unexpectedly, I think. It always costs more to move than I think. I'm like, oh, well, we'll just put it in the back of the van and go over the mountain. But it usually is a wee bit more complicated than that. So that is going to happen sometime in the spring is our hope. So we're going to be finishing out the year by launching a fundraiser that's going to help offset those expenses. As some of you know, William's other job burnt to the ground on Christmas Day. So we're out of that income source. And as far as like unemployment, that's still, I don't know the answers to that question. So I can't tell you anything definitive at this moment. However, it is a chunk out of how much money we have to work with. And so we're trying to do a campaign to kind of offset those expenses, and to kind of accommodate for a lackluster year in business. We're doing our best and trying to do, to do our best. Look who's here. William's here.
I made it.
Susan says dal is a stew, right? Yeah, it's a lentil stew. Marion says, just like an Indian, then every housewife has a different recipe. Correct. I think so. I look up some. So I'm not really good at remembering recipes because I always kind of cook by ear is not that cook by eye, cook by taste. I don't know. But yeah, so we've been working. William's setting out his yield. He's ran over to the cottage to get some work done. Because all of our dye supplementation stuff is over there. And he's like, do you want to come? And I was like, no, I'm hungry. I got to cook. So
yeah, I couldn't start over there. I was thinking 7:30, and I was like, I gotta be home by 7:30, not start the live at 7:30.
Wow, here we are. Surprise, surprise.
And then I think I accidentally jumped on at one point.
Yeah, I was like, who's this in the black screen? I didn't even get a chance to wash my face because he's like, go on the live real quick. Tell people we're not done fall into the ocean. Danette says it makes sense to move from Ligonier, where you are renting, to a building you own. Change is a good thing. I think so. It makes sense.
I'm gonna go live on Instagram now.
He's gonna go live on the Instagram. So we've been busy with that. I feel kind of bad because I'm going to be honest with you. I feel really bad about this. And the reason why I feel bad is that the way that we announced things was not necessarily the best. And so I have to apologize to all of our friends and family out there who were surprised by the way that we told everybody. Um, we could have done a better job about that. I think, and this is it's not an excuse, but because of the way that everything kind of went down recently, we just don't have time to breathe, let alone, do it the right way. So the way that we kind of announced things was a little bit higgledy-piggledy and rushed, but I hope that everybody knows that if we didn't tell you, um, one to one, that it was never an intention to hurt any of our AG Bead fam out there. So all I can do is ask for your forgiveness and your patience as we navigate these big things changing in our lives. Does that? William's grabbing his record, his Christmas present.
Christmas present sitting by the heater. I don't have to get.
I thought about that too, and then I was like,
It's not heating up too fast. I set my computer there instead.
Michelle says she wasn't surprised. I didn't think most people knew before we actually knew, probably, because we were like, well, maybe we'll stay, and you know what? If William's work didn't burn down, we probably would have hung on in Ligonier for at least another year. Did you know that, William? That we were going to maybe hang on for another year?
We probably would have.
Because we just have so much stuff going on in our lives that the idea of moving... Okay, let me tell you. Moving a bead store is not easy. It's the opposite of easy. It's actually very hard, and it breaks my brain a little bit every time we do it. And every time I do it, I'm like, we're never moving. We're gonna grow roots into the ground, and you're not gonna be able to dig us up.
Yeah, no matter how much Andrew looks for a permanent home, he's not happy to move it, and neither am I.
No, because it's so much work, okay, so
I feel weird being me,
Melinda came by last night, and she was talking, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Because I have a thing where I'm always doing something, even when I'm just talking with people, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, because I know some people like that eye-to-eye contact business, but for me, if I'm not doing something, then something's wrong. I'm like a shark. I have to constantly keep moving. Anyways, we started packing up some of the beads, and I don't know how this happened, but the bins flipped over, and so all of the beads that were carefully organized are now not organized, and they went all over the inside of this box, and strands got tangled up and all kinds of stuff. So I was carefully trying to remove the bins, and empty them, and I guess at some point in my life I'm gonna have to organize all this business. But yeah, so I guess the start of our moving efforts have not been ideal, aka less than ideal. So anyways, that was I guess it's Mercury retrograde. Knock on fake wood. Where's real wood? Knock on that thing, because I'm like, dude, we can't keep going like this. And they actually said that moving is one of the most stressful things you can do in your life. I guess if you're a minimalist, then that's not bad. You just like put it in a box, like just like, oh, ready. But we're how you call a maximalist.
Yes,
and so we have a lot of stuff. So my hope is before we end up having to move everything, we're going to do a big moving sale in the store. I'm going to try to get some of the fellow merchants. I'm going to be like, here, you want this? You want this? Special price. Best friend price. Take it all.
Do I
So
need to do anything with the stuff on the stove?
um, maybe turn it down to low,
Okay.
so it doesn't bubble over into the future and catch fire. Um, Chris says the way you announce things is always fine. I could have done it. We could have done things better, but I feel like we have so much stuff going on that I was probably not as sensitive to other people, and that's, I can't defend that. I can just say that I'm sorry about that. Um, and people are like, oh, don't feel guilty about it, but I think that's for us, to deal with. But anyway, so Cheryl said, yes, we knew it would have happened down the road. Nothing was wrong with how you announced it. You were excited, and we are too. I agree, but I think we could have done it better. But hindsight's 2020. Susan said the actual moving part isn't wonderful. Correct. Um, and Jermaine says it makes sense for you to let go of rent when you can move to a building you own. Yeah, I think one of the biggest hurdles was that we've been in town for 12 years and we're comfortable. We know who's around. We know whose door we can knock on in case something happens. We know who to call if there's a problem with water gushing out of the road. There's all these different things that could happen. And a part of our decision to stay as long as we have has been in part because we are comfortable here. And, it's one of those things where you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. So, yeah. Um, so that's part of the reason. And we also were planning to open a separate business in that building. So those plans have kind of shifted. They've been massively delayed this year because we haven't really had the extra cash flow. When we originally decided to open the second business in Johnstown, we had looked at our numbers from the couple previous years to see if we could do it. And if our numbers were the same or had grown, we would have been able to do it no problem. But our numbers have been like doot, 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 doot. Like our December is half of last year's. So maybe a little bit more at this point. I don't know how much money you made today, Lauren. Probably not that much. But so yeah, so our numbers have been down this year, and so we didn't get the other business off the ground, which is probably a good thing, or not. I don't know. You never know how things are gonna go. You can only hope for the best, right? And move forward. Norma says, moving is always difficult. When I moved into this house, I swear I would never move again. Susan says Mercury goes direct on New Year's Day. Hallelujah. Only a couple more days left. Pamela says moving is very stressful. Correct. Michelle says I hate moving. Even hate moving around my furniture. I like things in its place. Moved too many times. And Pamela says nothing wrong saying it like it is. Yeah, I do think we try always to be kind and considerate, and it's one of those things where I think nowadays it's so easy just to say whatever, and sometimes things do need to be said, but also just taking a moment to pause and think about other people is a good thing. And we normally try to do that. But so anyways, Marianne says, I don't mind moving things around, but moving a business cannot be a great deal of fun. In theory, it's fun. It's like a home decor show. except our budget's like $10, and usually those shows they have like infinite budget. Either that or it looks good on camera, but then in person it leaves something to be desired. That was my nice way of saying crappy. So let's see. Susan says moving is so chaotic. We've last moved 20 years ago, and except for large items we moved ourselves. We're old, not happening anymore. Yeah, so we're going to have to get some help with some of the larger things. And the larger things are actually not the things that are going to be the hardest thing to move. The hardest thing to move are the little things. And so far, we've only ever had to move the store, a couple blocks. So if you forgot something, you could just like run over real quick. Our first move, we just like moved down the street 2 blocks, and we were joking at one point of how we could set up a chain of our customers and just pass it. We can't do that to Johnstown. We don't know enough people.
We got all of our customers we could.
Maybe. Some of y'all gonna be suffering up on the summit. Gilbert's behind the camera. He's very charming. He's had a stressful day. All the little kids are wanting to be his best friend right now, and he's like, "No, I want to be my own man." Oh, he started purring aggressively at me. It's not William that he was purring aggressively at, it's me. Sandra says, if you're still going to have a store, why I saw everything off for cheap, wouldn't you just move it and not have to rebuy beads to sell online? A little confused. So that is a good question, and the answer to that is this new space is half as big as the old space. So there's a lot of stuff that we're not going to bring, or hopefully not bring. And we also have a lot of gift items like masks and tchotchkes and stones and specimens and things that are more bulky. So those things I'm hoping that we kind of clear out. And it's not that we can't sell it for less than, we can't sell it for nothing basically, but we do hope to generate some funds to help pay for the move, because it's going to be expensive to do all the things. So I hope that explains why we're going to do moving sales. And also the other thing is that we have so much stuff that's in the cottage that we have not even scraped the surface of. So making room in the new space will allow us to go through those things, if that makes sense.
Plus, the moving sale is publicity to let people know we're moving.
Yes. If you didn't hear that, William was talking about the publicity of moving. There are people who come into the store, even to this day. Somebody said this the other day when I was there. They're like, "Oh, I thought you closed years ago." And I was like, no,
we moved 3 blocks.
We moved 3 blocks down the street. And so, but we get that at least once a week. People think that because we moved, we close, which I don't get. But, I guess if you go to like one destination and you don't look at anything around you and you're just like real focused, then you may not know. But the last time we moved, we did a whole bunch of social media and a lot of stuff to let people know we moved, and still people didn't know that we moved. So we just have to keep telling everybody that we are moving, and I'm
not
gonna
closing. We are moving and not closing.
correct, because already somebody was, oh my goodness, y'all don't even know. Somebody was like, you're closing? Oh my gosh. And then one person was like, oh, I want to get all your stuff for cheap. And then I was like, we're not closing, we're moving. But I was like, but I will make a deal with you if you want. But they're like, no.
Anyone want to buy a whole business, we'll make a deal real quick.
Yeah, if you want. And then I'll just rent out that other space and live a life of luxury. I don't think that would happen. We're too much worker bees, I guess. Danette said it is scary leaving your comfort zone. Things happen for a reason. A lot of times we never know what the reason is. Yeah, I think, as hard as everything has been, I kind of feel like it's been the world or the universe kind of pushing us in certain directions. Um, or maybe that's me just trying to assign meaning to terrible tragedies and trying to find the good in them. But like with the pandemic, I knew it was such an uncertain time, but I knew that I wanted to get back into taking classes and furthering my education. And I don't think that if the pandemic didn't happen, if the pandemic didn't happen, I would have gone into classes. Um, and if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have met a bunch of people, and I wouldn't be showing in museums and galleries, and I wouldn't be doing all these amazing things that I'm doing now if something really terrible didn't happen to begin with. So sometimes you just never know how the ball's going to bounce. All right. I see some new folks tuning in. I'm going to go check on dinner, but I'm going to swap it out for.
You want to tell them a little bit about what they're going to see? What you did here? Or are you going to come back real quick?
I think I'm going to come back real quick. Danette says, I haven't known you very long, but the interactions I have had, you are considerate and thinking of others and genuine. We try to be. Lots of people are saying hello to Gilbert. June is watching. Hey, June. Tracy is watching. She says, hello, all late to arrive. Sounds like I've missed some important information. I'll get caught up on Facebook. I hope everything is well. No, but that's life. And it's like, I sometimes when I see people now and they're like, oh, how have you been? I am like, do you want the real answer or do you want the polite pleasantries? Because the real answer is we've had a lot of stuff going on. And so, yeah. All right. Oh, our friend Anne Gardan is watching. She says, good luck on your new decisions. Less overhead for me too in 2024. That's good. Sandra says, thanks for explaining. I'm glad you don't have to find another source for my gems. Well, hopefully you'll find some gems in our sales. Because we also got, okay, so, well, no, I'm not going to say that. I get in trouble for talking too much, but there's some stuff in the works. Jermaine says, I think this is your Phoenix rising. You know what? I've been painting phoenixes all year long. I didn't know that it was going to manifest into a major fire.
That's what you're doing.
I know. Oops, sorry, Albert. But anyway, I'm going to swap because I feel gross. I may shave in between.
You don't have time. I got to tell them about this.
All right, bye. All right, do you want to be on your face? Okay, bye. I'm going to try to exit gracefully.
Hello, everyone. Let's raise this up. Not for these short people. I have to, and I can't. I I have to mirror the camera. It makes me, there we go. So Andrew's been working on, we've both been working on stuff. I was in the store all day today, and this is, as you know, a New Day campaign. We're thinking of this as the new day for Allegory Gallery, a new chapter in the book, and we're trying to figure out some things that y'all might like and you might want and might be interesting for you. Let's see here. Marianne says, it's odd I had a fire passion card for December. Marianne, be careful what you pull there. Which cards you're pulling. But yeah, no, it's, we're trying to stay lighthearted about it a little bit. It's hard. There's a lot of very hard things going on, and we're trying to find the nice, the good, those moments in between. The good and nice moments are, a little bit fewer and further between than they have been before, but we're trying to find those. We're trying to stay positive. We're trying to keep a positive outlook on where we're headed. And so that's kind of what we're talking about with the new day. And Andrew today, and for the last many days, has been creating a series of artwork.
I actually started this a while ago.
Yes,
a while. So long.
Yeah. So this series of artwork may not have been started for this purpose, since this purpose has just kind of come upon us. But it was for some purpose of fundraising.
I think when we found out that my dad was dying, I started working on this series.
Yeah.
And for me, I recognize that death is just another aspect of life. And it's a part of the cycle of life. And I would like to hope that, did that freeze?
No, it's always like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Laura Lee joined us over there. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a bunch of people joining us over there on Instagram. Thank you. We have to look this way, by the way. We have to look over here for Instagram because we don't get the comments on our normal screen here.
And I should have glasses on because Grandpa can't see that far anymore. But anyway, so I kind of feel like I've been really into this. This motif started when I started doing the Storyteller collection. I guess it goes back further than that, but it's something that you all may recognize if you all have been around for the Storyteller collection. And if you look at the Storyteller collections, a lot of the things about that, they're very fantastical, but they are kind of life and death and the cycles of life and death and nature and fantasy and wonder and the questions we have about the world and the universe and how we describe those things. And I kind of almost think of them as little snippets of bigger stories. And there's only so many big stories in this world. So anyways, I started working on the series, and then when we made this decision, everything kind of clicked into place. So this idea of a new day and new life and regeneration and seeds that are growing and changing and living things. And so anyways.
So he made a series of artwork. He is working on that, continuing to work on that. He has something here. I don't know. Are we previewing these?
Yeah, I think we'll preview. I do have some finishing touches.
Yeah, they're not done yet.
Because I like to add a little bit of gold.
Yeah, there's no gold on these yet. So he's going to work on this some more, but we're going to show you a preview of those. We've also started turning, this series of artwork into some pendants.
Here, hold this one up, since this one is the most complete. So this is there. There will be some more things that are added into this, but one of the other things is that I wanted to have. Okay, so this is a hard one for me because having the project wall has always been something that's important to me because it gives opportunities to people who may not have them to show their work. And that was really important to me when we started the company. And so if you didn't see, Spooky Creepy would have been our last show. And I was like, I need to do something so that, we end the way we want. Because we won't be having a project wall in the new space. There's just no room for it. So, in a way, it's the end of an era for our showing of artwork in the physical space. But in another way, we're moving into like bigger arenas. I'm starting to curate for museums now. I just got off the email with somebody about a project at another museum in another gallery today. So yeah. So it's not the end, it's just changing. It is the end, but it's kind of like
The end of some things, it's a new day for others.
Correct.
So
that's one of the big pieces.
The big pieces. And then we're going to show you some of the smaller pieces and the derivatives of is that the right word? Of those small pieces? Mm-hmm. Derivations? Derivative? What's the word?
Variant,
Variants?
We watch enough Marvel.
All right, so let me flip this camera around. There's something in the air making me catching in my throat.
So, yeah, I hope people like this.
Okay, so let's look at some of these first. These are going to be the originals.
And how big are they? 3x4. They're slightly bigger than the ACEOs. And they're like sprouts. There's a lot of leaves.
So these are what, the monoprints?
Yes, and painted on top of the monoprints.
Yeah.
And then I cut everything by hand. So that's not done with the laser.
Yeah, often the ACEOs are done with the laser so that they're more similar to each other.
So these are all different. No two are quite exactly alike.
Vanessa's with us. Colidi is with us.
And my goal is to make 100 of them, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make 100. In the youth time, I worked with an artist named Peter Hirschhoff, and he used to have this project where you had to do 100 paintings in 24 hours. And I still do that project or attempt to do that project. You've
tried that a number of times.
I'm just too old, I'm just like, nah, I need to sleep. I can't. So I think it's a wonderful thing because it does, in whatever permutation you do, it does kind of open you up to the form language that is a part of your visual vocabulary. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's kind of like there are things that you make as an artist that you make over and over. There are things that are interesting to you, like different themes or colors or shapes or textures or materials. And this kind of forces you to look at those things and boil it down and kind of turn it into to kind of understand, I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense, William?
I think so. People are saying beautiful colors. Like
Thanks.
Khalidi says, I like how the botanicals are dancing. Cheryl says they're beautiful. People are picking their favorites.
Oh, good.
Harry says a lot of vibrancy in both color and form in these.
Thank you. And this is something that you'll see more of, and in different ways too. And I've done a little bit of this work in my metal work, and so this is one of the things where I'm constantly like dancing back and forth between my collage work and my metal work and my like sculpture. And so there are things that appear in my metal, and then they make their way over into my collage and painting. And then the painting and collage stuff, it goes into the metal. And then it's a cycle.
Michelle says, love these. Vanessa loves second from the bottom row. Jermaine says, I like just about all of these. Dawn's asking, are you doing a booth at Tucson? Bring them if you do. No, Dawn, we are not going to be in Tucson this year. That's one of the things we had to cut.
Unless something happens.
Unless we have a surge of activity.
Unless I win the lotto.
In like the next month.
If I win the lotto, I'll go.
Jermaine says they feel hopeful to me.
I think so. I think
so
like
too.
As I deal with like the death of my father, he's not dead yet, by the way, but he's kind of on his way out. And I know that kind of sounds kind of flippant or whatever, but it's not intended to be that way. But what I do kind of think about is, you know, how we approach that cycle. And I've been thinking a lot about this with my own life and my own plans of end of life plans. I know that's like buzzkill time, but it's this idea of celebration and kind of living a vibrant life instead of like waiting until the end. You know, my dad and I don't most of you know this already, we don't necessarily get along very well. And we've worked really hard over the past couple of years to kind of mend our relationship as best as we're able. You know, you have to meet people where they're at. You can't necessarily force things. I think one of the things that I've learned in life is that expectation breeds disappointment. So if you expect something to happen in a certain way, if it doesn't happen that way, then you're disappointed. So anyways, what was I going to say? I was saying that we have different we have different philosophies about life, basically. And so part of those differences is that he kind of wants to have this thing where he wants a headstone and a funeral and all these things. And for me, what I would like for me is to have those celebrations of life before it's too late, if that makes sense. Like let's share those happy memories while we're alive instead of waiting until.
Yeah, don't wait until the viewing to start saying nice things and to share those opportunities to share love and support.
Yeah, I would rather if somebody's going to spend the money to travel to a funeral, I would rather you spend that money before and do it while I'm alive and able, and we can see each other and hang out and make things and, you know, just celebrate life, eat good food, make cool things, tell stories, laugh,
right,
dance, sing.
So we're also going to be doing these pendants with samples of these work on them.
And they're all a little bit different.
They're all going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I use the same general front and back, but because they can be placed at different locations, they're all going to be a little different. We may even mix and match some fronts and backs as we go. I just did these very quickly to get some samples out for the show here of what we can do.
What we're going to do.
And what we're going to be doing. These are based on the larger painting or collage. These are kind of snippets of the larger collage. And we may also work in some things like these with maybe the pins. He's also working on some other kind of middle-sized pieces that we may turn into pins and things like that. So we're not going to, these aren't going to be on the website saying you can get this exact one, for example. But we may do it in that the design, you'll kind of see maybe more of this green leaf like you do on this one, and maybe more of these browns in this one. So we're going to be, you know, we'll tailor the purchasing maybe toward that, unless you all like surprises a little bit more, because we were talking about these and whether y'all would want to pick the one you get, or if you'd like to do a mystery purchase on these. So what do y'all think? Would you rather pick your design, or would you like to do a mystery purchase? I know what I like. I told Andrew I would probably rather pick, but that's me. I'm not always great with mysteries, obviously, like as long as it's taking me to, you know, work and make this decision on what we're doing in our lives. But yeah, so Cheryl says they'd look great with the peach fuzz inspiration kit. Yeah, there's some really nice peach fuzziness to some of these that would go really great with that kit. Susan says they remind me of ocean and coral. It's true. It's true. I like them a lot. So they're leafy, but I could definitely see how you could also think of them as oceany and coral like, especially some of these, like maybe some of these ones. Tracy says, I bet those would make nice lightweight earrings. These could be turned into earrings very easily, especially if you wanted to do, you'd have to be okay with asymmetrical, right? Because no two of these are going to be exactly the same. And that's just the way it is. That's just the nature of this process and the nature of the prints that we're using to get these done. Let's see here. Dennis says the pendants are pretty. Can't pick which one I like best. Yeah, like I said, we're going to try and get you a general idea if you purchase these on the website. But they're all, don't expect them to be exactly like the picture on the website. I'm going to put that in the description so everyone knows that. But we're taking snippets of the larger painting, excuse me, and using them for these. Sandra would rather pick. Cindy says, surprise me, please. Danette said I would rather pick. Dawn says I'd rather pick. Norma would rather pick. Jermaine always wants to pick. Michelle would like a surprise. Chris says gorgeousness. Thank you so much. Harry would rather pick. Marion says, if I could buy one, I would rather pick. Colidi says, are you able to put two different designs on each side for a higher price? We may do that anyway. Like I may combine one of these and maybe this one, for example.
That way you can,
front
if you
and
don't
back.
like the,
yeah, you don't like the front that you get, you can use the back. Like I said, these may be more randomized. These may be more of a surprise kind of item that and I'll write that in the description. I know it's not possible that we're going to be able to say you're going to get this exact pendant unless I sell you this exact pendant. But we may do them more that they have a smaller design, like these kind of more intricate ones with kind of the more larger one front and back, so that you can pick which one you want. So these pendants are going to be a little bit more of a surprise probably than a pick your own adventure. But yeah. Shirley says, since it would be very hard to pick a favorite, I could probably take a mystery purchase. It'd be like getting one intended to be mine. I like that idea. Vanessa would like to pick. Susan says, in this case, a surprise is fine. So yeah, we will probably, the artwork, because I'm a picker, I will probably take pictures of every one of these once they're finished, and we'll put them up and let people go crazy if you want and pick your own.
I'm not naming them all.
They're going to be numbered or they'll have all the same titles. So that's just the way it's going to be. But,
it'll be like 100 words for...
right. Dawn says, I love these pendants so much. Good. I'm glad you all love them. I thought they came out really nice, but I wasn't sure what people would think of them.
We're going to have pins too.
Yeah. And so I was telling them we might do pins of these, but I was saying you have middle-sized ones that we may make the pins after.
I've been working like crazy.
That's not all, y'all. We're also going to be...
Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. We're going to be doing them in hearts too. So
we're supplying you with a powerful moment of inspiration.
Right.
We've been watching these things about how to make your business not fail, and there's certain ways that they talk, which I don't know.
Yeah, so they do. They have certain keywords they use, and it's advertising, right? And so
they like study this.
Yeah,
like, how
it's
do you
their
remember?
thing. And Khalida says, I was thinking it'd be reversible depending on my mood. Yes, so that's might be what we do. Like we'll have like this on one side, for example, and this on another. I don't know. We haven't really decided yet.
I kind of like these ones more. The bigger image.
The bigger image. I don't know. I was liking the hearts a little bit myself. So.
Well, you don't like. Which one do you like? Do you like more the small detail, or you like the bigger pattern?
I tend to like this kind, the bigger patterns.
Me too.
These ones are nice. I like. What ones do you all like? Do you like the smaller patterns? Like the smaller, the smaller ones have more of the brown in them, which I do like that.
One thing that y'all should know is that this is a throwback to probably before I knew any of y'all, but I did a series of collages that use Japanese fabrics as inspiration. Maybe one day I'll dig them
out of the closet.
They're in the attic.
In the attic.
So they're probably like ruined, but I was thinking about that the other night, but...
So do you like the larger? Marian says smaller patterns are her preference. Anne says, I like the bigger pattern, but I love anything that's botanical. So
they're not like... they're botanical inspired.
Yeah.
Because...
Right. Yeah, there's no specific botanical he's after there. And what we might do is for the pendants, we might just do... You say you're going to get a bigger pattern on one side and a smaller pattern on the other, and that might be how they're sold. We're still determining how we're going to do this because I cannot make them perfectly. So I think it might be a larger pattern on one side and a smaller pattern on the other, and I'll advertise them that way, show you kind of front and back ish as samples, and just let everybody know in the description that yours will vary. Susan says, I love the heart shape. Thank you so much. Cindy likes the smaller patterns in the heart shape. I do think the smaller pattern on the heart looks good. Like I feel like I like the smaller pattern on the heart better than the smaller pattern on the pendant.
Oh.
Getting really nitty gritty here, right? Anne says reversible pendant. She likes that idea. Jermaine says, I think I like the smaller pattern, but they're all gorgeous.
I just like this leaf. So
leafy goodness.
This little sprout.
Shirley says, I prefer the ovals. Yeah, so we're going to produce the hearts and the ovals. I have enough here. I'm going to start taking pictures of them probably tomorrow.
We might do some other shapes too.
We might throw out some other shapes. You never know. Maybe some other patterns. I don't know what Andrew's going to give me. But for now, this is what we're working with. And then, but wait, there's more. What?
We're going to empower you with some powerful information.
So let me move this.
Powerful.
So the next thing we're going to be doing are some mugs. And I did this one very quickly. I'm going to work on stretching this a little bit. So I think, so the border, I kind of like the borders.
No, I like that.
Andrew says, I like it just the way it is.
I don't want it stretched. I like the border.
So there you go. It's going to have a border, everybody. It's going to be just like this. So the mugs are going to be very similar. So I can do this exact pattern again on a mug because it's a whole wrap.
Let me see this closer with my eyes. Okay. I approve.
He approves.
See, the thing
I
is,
tried
sometimes in my artwork, y'all know we have cats. So there's cat hair in some of my artwork that's been embedded in the paint. And so one time I did this. Okay, this is probably embarrassing. But I did this print for Society 6, and somebody blew it up for a bedspread, and the cat hair looked like a giant pube.
Oh, Lord.
And I was like, oh, my goodness.
Anne says, wow, we're just going to change the subject. Anne says, wow, that looks great on a mug. I tried to pick a piece of the artwork that had so many different colors because the colors come out really nicely on the mugs. So I picked a section that he sent me of one of these that had some of the leafy goodness, little sprouts.
I wish they made the pendants in ceramic like that with this coating.
And they might. We just have not searched that yet.
I don't know how they do the coating.
Norma says, ooh, love. Michelle says, wow. Chris says, wowzers, fabulous. Cheryl says, it looks finished with the border. Okay, good. I'm glad you like that. Khalidi says, that's pretty. Shirley says, wow, that's beautiful. And I buy mugs even though I don't drink coffee. Dawn sent a face red heart shape. Marion says, the mug is awesome. But wait, everybody. There's more. So I told you that the Strange Harvest tumbler is the tumbler for December. You have one more day if you'd like to purchase that because it's a limited edition and it's going away. And I don't even have one here to show you. But that's on our website, Strange Harvest Tumbler. Cheryl says tumbler, woohoo. Susan says, I love that. Vanessa says, I like the border painting on a mug. So I chose this piece, hopefully Andrew approves, to do the tumbler. He says, let me see that.
I can't see any pubes from here.
So this is going to be the tumbler for the New Day series for January. And these are the insulated tumblers. I think these are 20 ounces, I want to say. And
now I want a border.
Now you want a border. There's the one at the bottom, but the tumblers don't come with the border at the top because I have to align them.
Then never mind.
So that they look.
No, that looks good. I like that. Without the lid, it looks awesome.
So they got that. It's always going to have a little stripe because that's where the thing meets. But Anne says, I 100% will be getting that tumbler. Michelle says, oh, wow. Cindy says, you are all killing me with the mugs. Love them. Khalid said, all mugs hold ice cream too.
Correct.
Marianne says, or hot chocolate or tea. Even water can be in a mug. I drink juice out of a mug. I drink lots of things out of a mug.
One thing I would say is if you do this, I would make this the tree.
I noticed that after I did it. So the mug, this one's, I think, upside down. I mean,
I don't mind it.
Yeah. I looked at it, and the more and more I look at it, the more I'm like, this should be flipped.
The orientation of the painting the other way.
Yeah, it's going to go the other way. So the mug, just so you know, when we produce them, and I'll get a real picture of it. I may sell this one if anybody wants a reduced mug, but I'll probably just keep it for myself. But this will be flipped so that this looks like it's growing up. So like this, it's going to look like this, everybody. Because I didn't realize when I was wrapping it, I was doing everything so quickly today. And
you did a good job.
I had to, it uses 3 different, this is a separate heat pressing system than this is. So I was like cooling and heating 3 different heat pressing systems. Cheryl says, take my money, LOL. Chris is fabulous, terrific marketing ideas. This is more the kind of thing that we're kind of moving into as we move more online. And Andrew, we get do more shows, and we're planning hopefully more markets and things like that. And just to get more use out of Andrew's wonderful artwork. We used to put his stuff on Society 6, which is a great place. There's still stuff out there, but the margins that we get are smaller and smaller. So
they sold something for over $100, and I made like $1.62, and I was like,
don't know about that.
Maybe if you're Taylor Swift and you have like a gajillion followers or whatever,
yeah,
then that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for us, when we know like 10 people,
yeah,
then it's not ideal.
Susan says, nice. Khalees says, beautiful and vibrant. I don't know if I missed those comments. Khalees says, so great you can make your own merch. Yeah, I'm very happy about this. The tumblers are going to be limited. We'll see if people really like the tumblers, whether we invest in...
That one spot looks like a booger.
Where? What are you looking at? You're going to show the booger?
Yeah, I guess. That one. Do y'all like that?
I thought it looked like a little ladybug or something on there.
That's their collage, but...
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I purposely glued that on.
Now you see it and you're like, I just thought, I thought it looked like a bug on a leaf. I think it's pretty cool. Amy says, stickers, they seem to be really a popular product.
We don't have that yet.
Maybe. We have a Cricut machine, and we could do stickers with it, I believe.
Who knew?
I think they make a sticker kind of paper vinyl thing, so we'll see.
You can print on?
I think so. So I watched a YouTube. Somebody was doing something, but maybe they had them produced and then we're just cutting them out. I don't know yet. So
that we might have to get sent away. But we're still. But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
You didn't even know about.
I didn't even know about these. I heard the laser going when I got home. What are these?
So these are prototypes for new quote pendants.
Oh, I thought this was on my sublimation wood. And I was like, were we doing stuff on top? This is not.
We could.
Maybe.
Make it even more sculptural dimensional flavor.
Right. So this is acrylic, everybody.
So I use this because normally what I do is I paint the recessed areas like a scrimshaw technique, and I 100%, like I said, William, bring me the isopropyl alcohol. And then I realized that I would not be able to finish it in time. So I have this acrylic that's like a two-tone. There's a white layer, and then when you cut away from that or engrave it, you can see the gold underneath, which you really can't see it as like gold. But anyways, there's a bunch of comments on.
Got a bunch of getting comments. Gorgeousness over on Instagram. Beautiful. Thank you all out there. Instagram's a little harder for us to see the comments, but we appreciate you all out there.
We're not used to it yet.
No.
But we will be one day, someday. So read them.
Okay, let's start over. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
That's
Halakolo.
That's from The Alchemist.
The beginning is always today, by Mary Shelley. Oh.
Did I misspell it?
Yes, you did.
Oh, there you go. I'll have to redo that one.
All things are possible.
I think it auto-corrected me because I would not have messed that up.
Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud, by Maya Angelou.
Are you sure it's not Mary Angelou?
Follow your bliss, Joseph Campbell. Dawn says, I'm still drooling over those pendants. These ones? Or these ones? These ones? Anne says, you have fun tools. We're trying.
So that I don't go crazy.
Right? Andrew doesn't have to do everything by hand all the time anymore.
Hello,
Donna. Donna joined us.
Which Donna?
Donna Mosley.
Oh, hello.
The only constant in life is change.
Heraclitus. In theory, there's a fancy Latin thing for that, but then I was like, ain't people gonna get it?
Magic is the belief in the power of change.
Oh, so that's a okay. So keep that in your mind.
And the last one, in every ending, there is a new beginning. Deborah Harkness.
So I write something every single day, and those of you who are friends with me on my timeline, you probably know I write a lot every day. And at some point, I was like, how come I don't just come up with quotes? Because I write every day. Why I can't have quotes? I'm quoting all these other people, which I like too. So there are a couple of them that
don't have
attributations. Attributing, I don't know.
Attributes.
They have many fine attributes, but they're not. So anyways, the magic one is the belief in the power of change is me. I said that. I didn't put it down though as me saying that because I thought that was a little too like I'm gonna quote myself.
Praise yourself. You're quoting.
I don't have that kind of self-esteem just yet.
So a colleague says Andrewisms. So yes, these are just some of the things that we're going to be starting to load into the online store starting tomorrow. I'm going to get pictures in the daylight. We are closed in the physical store tomorrow.
And so you didn't know that.
Yeah, in case you are in town, we are closed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
We're going to put a sign on the door because I know some people, they love that sign on the door.
And so yeah, we have paintings coming, we have a new tumbler coming, we have a new mug coming, we have the quote pendants coming, we have the heart and the oval pendants coming based on the artwork. These are, if you don't know, these are dye sublimated wood. And that means that it's Andrew's artwork that is printed on a special paper and heat pressed onto this wood. So these lines that you're kind of seeing, these are not like printing malfunction lines. These are the wood grain.
I think that adds something.
I do too. And on camera, you'll see a lot of the reflection, but in person, you see that less.
And then
it really gives it dimension.
The quote pendants will most likely be done on a pastel acrylic.
These ones.
Yeah.
So not on the white and gold.
No, because I don't have very much of that.
So we'll be working on these.
And fixing the typo.
And maybe we'll try and do some on some dye sublimation wood and sublimate on top and see what happens. Maybe we'll play around.
Etch on top? Etching on top?
Etch it first and then dye sublimate it on top.
Are we that fancy?
I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get that fancy and it works.
I would like to be fancy.
I know, right? Jermaine says, I like the texture on the pendants. Yeah, I think they're nice. And if you've gotten any of our pendants already, you know what that kind of looks like already. Already?
And then we're going to make a tote bag, but we didn't finish the design. I didn't finish the design.
Yeah, we got to work on that. I actually have to order more tote bags. So we're going to get on that.
Do we have one to make a sample?
No, not yet.
Can we use the back of one of the ones?
If I still have one.
I think there's one of the misprints.
There might be a misprint. I don't know if it's misprinted on both sides or not.
Oh. I think you only did one side that was a misprint of that Fly Bravely. It was backwards.
So, in review, oval pendants are coming, heart pendants are coming, the new quote pendants are coming, the new mug, which is actually going to be this way.
And small paintings, medium paintings, and large paintings.
The January limited edition tumbler. This tumbler will only be available in January, and then it will be gone. If you want to grab the Strange Harvest tumbler, one of my favorite, I love those paintings. You can get that before the end of December, and then we'll be taking it down from the website. This one will replace it as the limited edition tumbler of the month.
What if I made some beaded things?
And then these paintings.
And then we take a picture of that and then put that
On a what?
on something.
On something.
I love making these little mandala things because they're so colorful.
Yeah, maybe.
What in the world am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm an inventor, y'all. Look at how fun. I think I need that in my life.
I can only do so many. Here, let's put that one on the blue. This one looks good on there. That one looked good on the blue. Look, and then we take pictures of those and do something with them?
Yeah, maybe. You like that idea, y'all?
Maybe.
Or you think it looks like garbage?
Dawn says, I'm excitedly awaiting the shop update for them. What does everyone like most? What do you think you're going to grab in the shop when we do it? What would you like to grab the most?
Because I know some folks are on budget, so.
Yeah, we're going to try, everything's going to be budget friendly, I think.
We're going to try.
We're going to do our best. Of course, some of the bigger paintings or collages are going to be more expensive. It's just the way that works.
But we did try to, and I'm going to try to make a print.
Khalidi says, love your bead on dollars.
Bead on dollars. A mandala. That looks so good.
Right? Cindy says, looks good. Pendants and mugs. Dawn says, oval pendants for sure. Chris says, pendants for earrings and mugs.
Yeah, I would like a long, skinny one too, and like a rectangle or oval.
A what? Pendants?
No, because then you can't see the pattern. Never mind. Whatever.
Certainly the heart pendant, says Susan. Khalidi wants the beaded mandalas.
And I think we're going to do an ornament too, but they take up extra wood, so that's the thing.
Jermaine says the little prints and the pendants. Donna says those colorful pendants, like a couple, because they would sell at the next event with my metaphysical shop. We're going to make them for you. So glad you like everything. Hopefully, Shirley says pendants and mug for sure. Hopefully you really do like these, and we'll, they're all going to support our move and what we're trying to do moving into the new shop. And my joblessness now, my loss of my other job completely, pretty much. Norma says prints and mugs, but really like everything.
Thanks. I tried hard.
Did good job.
Also, remind them about this Sibs.
I was just about to do it. Now, we only have one day left, everyone, till tomorrow at 11 p.m. is when you can still order these pins. This is for the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths. Andrew used his design for these. So these are available. These will be pin backed. I don't have the backs on them, but these are pins that you can wear like a little brooch. And you can order those now in our online store. They are available, I believe, at the very top of the page. These things tomorrow will replace that at the top of the page. But any money generated by these for sales will go to the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths, the SIBS. And then we also BIPOC event. Then we also have these. These are Funlala, right? Funlala Coker. And we also have this one available.
Amanata Conte. And you asked her if that's how she says her last name.
Conteh. So these are all available on our website currently. And any purchase of those, like we said, the full amount of the purchase we are going to be donating to the fundraiser, their end of year fundraiser for the Society of Inclusive Blacksmiths.
We did not, bless you, William.
Almost.
We didn't sell very many of those. So I'd like to make a bigger donation. So if anybody wants to, also if you made a donation before we made these pins, if you email us, we'll throw in a pin.
Especially if you have an order going out already.
Mm-hmm. If we have to send the shipping and pay the shipping, then that's not good that we lose money.
Right.
Even more money.
But if you did donate to the Sibs already and you would like a pin,
a little
bonus, and you have an order going out with us, feel free to let us know and we can throw one in of your choice or a surprise.
Because I think Norma and Marianne donated.
I saw Marianne's, yeah. I know that for sure.
Early. They've donated early.
Yeah. So there you go, everyone. There you have it. That's everything going on here for today. We're going to have a whole new set of things tomorrow.
There's kits in the work. There's all kinds of stuff.
We're hoping to have some kits out there for you tomorrow. Maybe we'll have, we'll try some sublimated quote. Do you all like the quote pendants? No one mentioned the quote pendants.
I love the quote pen, but I think they look good in pastel.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we're going to do them in a variety of pastel, acrylic, depending on what we have. And I'm maybe going to shrink some of them down so that they're
not so, they need some spacing.
Yeah. I didn't know how it would work though, because like this one has a lot of text. And if you get smaller, you're going to need a magnifying glass.
Right.
Yeah. I think they don't look that great on the white.
That might be why it is, yeah.
It looks like it's, I don't know.
They need a border on there.
Something.
Anne says, I like the quote pendants. Norma says, no, I'd rather do the original donation plus a pin donation. Well, thank you, Norma. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
However you want to do.
Maybe we'll put these mandalas on the website for sale. People seem to like those. And we're ready to give those up.
Sure, I don't care.
We'll send those out into the world.
Put them on a chain. Put a bird on it.
Or just sell them that way. Done. Let's not get too crazy.
He said no.
No, we don't need to add extra jobs. These are ready to go. Let's let them go. All right. Shirley says, I do like the quotes, especially the universe is helping me. By Paulo Coelho.
That should be named our cat after
Mr. Paulo. I miss Mr. Paulo.
We were talking about him yesterday.
Marion says, did I make a donation? I know I made one. So I know I made one to Beads of Courage. I love the Maya Angelou quote. I thought Marianne did too. I thought you told me. I thought I saw it. Maybe it was the other. Yeah, I don't know.
If you email us, we never know.
Who knows?
It sounds right.
Sounds right. I felt like you did, but maybe it was a different one. Anyway, so there we go. We got lots of stuff. These things you can't even see on the screen. But thank you all for tuning in. I'm sorry, I've not been paying attention to Instagram over here. No more comments over there to catch up on. Okay.
Yeah, because nobody reads their comments.
So no wonder they don't make any comments. No one reading them.
I think also people, they may open it for like 3 seconds.
I do that a lot. Because Instagram is very good about giving you a notification and you accidentally tap it and you're in. And you're in. And maybe you're like, I'm not ready to be in right now. Anyway, thank you all. We're going to go make some dinner and eat.
It's being made.
It's being made, I know. But I don't think it's ready yet, is it? I'd like it to be.
No.
I'm very hungry.
Sorry.
So come tomorrow, I'll be taking pictures of these and getting them in the online store because we need better light for picture taking generally. And
I'm going to try to finish the little paintings tonight.
So we can get them in the online store.
I want to gold leaf them, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think you better do something more simple so we can keep the prices lower so everyone can get one.
You all don't like that 24K?
The 24K price.
I have a piece of 24K that's like this big. So they're not thick.
Not
sheet.
Sheet. Cindy says, I love everything you're doing. Just let us know when things are online. Have a great new year. Thank you so much. To know when things are online, stay tuned to our Facebook page. You can also sign up for our email news list or text message news list.
Also, keep an eye tomorrow because we're going to do the launch of Beat in the New Year.
Yes, the calendar is coming. So we got lots of stuff coming up tomorrow too. I'll be sending out an email about a lot of stuff tomorrow. So join the email list. And if you want to be on our text message list, join that too, because I'll be sending out text messages about things as well. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. And we'll see you back here live tomorrow with some kits and other goodies. Bye, everybody.